sports fans, this is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes here live on this Sunday morning. Here with my man FanDuel Zaya of the FanDuel Zaya podcast. How you feeling this morning, FanDuel Zaya?
Man, as Parlay Post say, I can't complain. Ain't nobody gonna listen to me, but I'm here. You know what I mean? Hey, and we back with another banger.
Back with another banger. We also got our man Post Game of the Post Game podcast. How you feeling this morning, Post Game?
Hey, I feel great, man. Ready to talk these good sports. And as y'all know, the Midwest got something to say.
Midwest got something to say. I don't know if y'all got a chance to look at some of the stuff that's been happening across the sports world, but we're going to talk a little bit about it this morning. So let's go ahead and jump into that first question, man. How important was it to the NBA that this series between OKC and the Pacers went to a seventh game?
I think it was extremely important, man. Um, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a big NBA fan, but this year I wasn't into it for some reason, and I don't know. This series kind of rejuvenated me, even though this ain't the matchup I wanted to see. It's been very entertaining, to say the least. And I think the kind of the baton is getting passed right now. So uh, it's good to see some of these young bulls out here, and the way they're competing on the court is more. You could tell it's more to come. You know what I mean? Um, you got so many young cats in the league, and you know when the baton is getting passed from like the older stars to the younger stars, it could be a tricky situation. Either you can gain audience or you can lose audience. So I think this is a good bridge. This series was a good bridge to what's to come in the NBA.
Man, you got game seven, OKC and the Pacers. This is extremely important to the NBA. The NBA has been struggling with ratings as of late, you know, um, during the LeBron era, Rob, for whatever reason. But
Ah,
game seven is extremely important for the NBA, its fan base and the ratings. You know, who doesn't enjoy a great game seven, no matter what the sport is? So I think this is big time for the league. It played out exactly how they would want it. Game seven, everything's on the line. You got young stars like FanDuel was saying that are coming of age. So game seven is extremely important for the NBA.
Yeah, I totally agree with you both. I mean, going to a game seven was definitely a benefit to the NBA, seeing that the two teams that made it were not probably the two teams that they projected to get there. Even though OKC had been good all year, uh, was one of the better teams, was always up around the first or second winning this team in this season. I think that the NBA is probably changing a little bit, and some of those small market teams might have a chance to start getting in there. Will Memphis ever be able to get there? Charlotte, maybe not so much, but some of the small market teams might have a chance to get up in there, man. Seeing that the game has changed so much to where you could get players because Milwaukee won it, so that's another small market. Cleveland has won it, but they won it with my man LBJ. So I think that it's a good thing for the NBA because you want to prolong your season as far as you can, no matter what the sport is. And so we get to see a nail biting game seven. They play tonight, is that right?
yeah,
Tonight. So, that's always going to be must see TV, even though I might not be watching.
yeah. Hey, you should watch. I'm
I'm
telling
going
you.
to try to, man. I'm going to try to. It's kind of hard for me to juggle other sports when I put so much time into college football that sometimes
One day ain't gonna hurt you, no. One day. It's just one day. It's a game 7. It's the last game of the year.
I
You
might
gotta watch.
I might be able to get it off. I might be able to get it off. We're gonna see. Can Game 7 be an easy victory for either team, or will it be close to in the will it be close in the end?
Man, absolutely not. This is gonna be a scratch claw game. You know what I mean? You gonna have to crawl your way out of the door to get this dub. You feel me? This is not gonna be an easy game for neither squads. I just don't see it. I don't even think the NBA is gonna allow it to be a blowout. You know what I mean? As T1 say, this is entertainment. They got they gotta pop them ratings. So nah, man. And just so we can be clear, hold on. Let me check the questions real quick. Make sure I ain't moving ahead. Hold up. Okay, now I'll say that for the next question.
Easy victory. I don't, man, if it's an easy victory tonight, either way, then one of those teams went out weak. But I definitely don't think whoever wins tonight is going to be an easy task. I think in OKC's case, maybe you get to the fourth quarter, at the end of the third quarter, and they start to pull away. I predicted that this series would go to 7, and it's gone 7. So I expect this to be a great game. A lot of back and forth, a lot of runs from both teams, and it's going to come down to who wants it more.
Man, I hear what you both are saying, and I hope that it goes that way as well. But I got this feeling that it's not even going to be close, man. The moment is going to probably be too big for Indiana in the sense that OKC's crowd is not going to allow them to even be in this game. I think they're going to lose by double digits, and OKC is going to take home that trophy. I hope I'm wrong. But I'm going to throw that out there and think that the OKC is going to win this thing by double digits and lead throughout the entire game for the most part. Well, you already know who I think is going to host the trophy. Who will host the trophy at the end?
Man, listen, I'ma stick with my pick. I got Indy. Indy in 7. You feel me? Hey, Halle, what the hell going on? What the hell, Ante? You know what I mean? What the hell, burger? Yeah.
Who hoist the trophy? I'm going to stick with my pick of OKC. I think they'll get the job done tonight on their home court. Um, I think it'll be a battle. It'll be close. And they'll go back and forth to begin the game. But then I think you'll see in the latter part of the game, OKC start to pull away. I think Shea is going to have his way tonight, as well as J Dub. And I think OKC will get their championship tonight.
Yeah, I second that. I think OKC is going to win this game. The home crowd, it's only fitting that the home team take home and hoist that trophy today at the end of this game. And I'm thinking it's going to be OKC that's going to do it. What's your thoughts on the physical play on Caitlin Clark? I hope I spelled her name right.
Hey, I mean, Curry went through the same thing. She got to just learn, adapt, and adjust. It ain't basketball. I mean, we can say what we want about basketball. Basketball is meant to be played physical. You supposed to hit the floor. You supposed to check people. You supposed to bump people. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I don't have no problem with it. She gotta adapt and adjust to the physicality. You know what I mean?
It's basketball, man. It's supposed to be physical. I don't think Caitlin Clark is complaining about the physicality either, though. But I think it's fine. I don't have a problem with the physicality. It's a sport, it's a physical sport. It's supposed to be physical, so I don't have any issues with the physicality with the women. I think it's good for the game. As long as nobody's getting killed out there, then it's fine with me.
Yeah, I agree, man. I like the physicality of the game, man, and it's a contact sport, man. It got to be physical. You just can't let people roam around on the court and do what the heck they want to do. I don't like that kind of play, man. Because I know when I played, I was a defender first before I learned how to the offensive side of the game. So I was one of them dudes that was going to be aggressive. I was going to be physical. I was going to be in your chest. I was going to bump you. I was going to hit you. I was going to hold you. I was going to do everything. And I think that makes the games better. And I think that's going to make Caitlin Clark a better basketball player, being able to play with the physicality of the game the way it's being played right now against her. And I think it's physical throughout the league, though. It ain't just directed simply at her, but the highlights we see are mainly her getting bumped because she's starting to become the face of the league. But I mean, I like it downright dirty and grimy. As long as, like post game said, nobody's getting undercut, that kind of thing where somebody's in the air and you slamming them to the ground, or you're doing the Karl Malone on Isaiah Thomas splitting his wig. I don't want to see that kind of stuff, but I do want to see the game be a lot more physical. So I'm okay with that. Caitlin Clark is going to be all right because I think she likes it too. She ain't no chump, that's for sure. Do you like the style of play, or is it just a few isolated incidents? I think we kind of covered that, but go ahead and tackle that one too.
Yeah, I'm like on the borders of like if you ain't really ready to fight, then it ain't physical enough. That's that's the border. I'll be thinking about '90s basketball and the NBA for real. You know what I mean? Now that's physical. This little stuff they got going on. But I love the style of play. I think over time the WNBA is gonna get even more aggressive though. It's gonna keep on getting more and more aggressive. The better because these women are getting better and better. Like I don't know if y'all realize it, and we always be talking about Cheryl, what I mean, being the GOAT or whatever. And she played a long, long time ago, but like the skill from top to bottom is getting better and better. That just makes it more competitive. You know what I mean? So it's gonna get more and more physical. The more competitive it get, the more physical it's gonna get.
Yeah, I agree. It's a physical game again. I mean, isolated incidents. I think you seeing physical play across the WNBA this season, and it's fine for the game. I have no issues with it. You see Angel Reese get roughed up. You see Caitlin get roughed up, and a lot of other players get roughed up. So it's fine with me. They just competing at a high level. The game is getting better. It's getting more physical. I have no issues here.
Yeah. I think it's just the style of play. They understand that, they're becoming such a really, really talented basketball group that they know that you got to have physicality in this game. You can't play a contact sport and not have physicality in it. It's just not good for the sport, in my opinion. I think that it's more than some isolated incidents. I think there's more physicality going on that we don't see because they don't necessarily hype it up because it's against other players and not Caitlin Clark. Right now, Caitlin Clark is the news, so that's why they put it out there so much when you see it against her. But I think all of those players play really, really hard and gritty, and I like it. And I don't think it's personal either. I think it's one of those situations where they understand. Listen, we playing basketball. Basketball is a contact sport. You're gonna get bumped. You're gonna get hit. You're gonna get grabbed. You're gonna get held. We're trying to gain an advantage to win this game. So if being physical is a way we can do it, It's part of the game. Let's go. That's why they call fouls. Take your foul, shoot your free throws, or take the ball out on the side. But don't come talking no stuff. What should our teammates' reactions be going forward when this physical play happens?
I'm gonna give you my unpolitical answer first. I mean, you got to ride. I mean, I don't mind somebody punching on somebody every once in a while either, if it get too crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's my unpolitical answer. But you gotta always have your people's back. You feel me? That's your family technically. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, whatever the reaction warrants, that's where you go. Basketball is an emotional sport as well. So, anything you might react any way to anything. So, I mean, we done seen Ron Artest jump in the stands. I ain't say go that far, but if it get outrageous, we done seen some outrageous things already this season. But if it get outrageous and you feel like somebody coming to hurt her, you might have to put some pause on somebody. You know what I mean? So, uh, I mean, just ride. You just gotta have your people's back, man. Whatever the situation is.
Yeah, you gotta any player, any team, you always gotta stand up for your teammates. Always. I got an issue if you don't. You seen the other night, Angel Reese got her hair pulled, and her and Tina Charles got into it. And Tina Charles was just standing up for her teammates because she pulled Angel to the side and let her know, like, I gotta do that. That's my teammate. So they cool and they understand the game like that. So I mean, her teammates should keep doing the same thing they've been doing, which is riding for their teammate. So that's what it is.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I mean, you got to have a pitcher's mentality. When somebody tripping on your team, okay, you have to play now. It's my turn. If you got to bing them, you got to bing them. If you're an offensive lineman and somebody hit your quarterback, oh, they got to get it. They got to get it. So if that's your teammate, you got to stand up for your teammate. You got to do whatever needs to be done to let that other team know, listen, nah, I'm rolling with her. This is my people. You come over here if you want to, but we got something for you. I definitely think that they should get her back, and they have been, so that's a good thing. Let's switch gears a little bit and talk a little bit of NFL. Who has the best chance to get past Patrick Mahomes to make it to the Super Bowl, Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen?
Man, we gonna keep on saying Lamar until Lamar do it, man. Uh I like what I seen out of Josh Allen last year. We gotta see what that defense if that defense progress or not this year. But man, Lamar got everything he need, bro. He gotta get it done, bro. All he need is one. That's it. Nobody will ridicule him if he don't win another one after the one. Just get one, bro. I mean, you got everything you need, bro.
Yeah, I mean, the best chance to get past Mr. Mahomes. Um, I like Lamar Jackson's chances. If you look at last season, had Mark Andrews caught that ball, they probably make it to the next round to face them, but he dropped it. But Lamar Jackson has, like FanDuel was saying, everything he needs. He got big Derrick Henry. They just got Jair Alexander from the Packers. That defense should be tough again. And Lamar Jackson is just a dynamic playmaker. And I love watching him play. He's a great quarterback, but he needs to get that Super Bowl ring. And he needs to get past Mr. Mahomes sooner than later because in the NFL, you never know how soon your window going to close. Josh Allen is a great player, and the Bills are a formidable team, and I think they'll be in a mix. But I think it'll be Lamar Jackson's year.
Yeah. Say peace to our homie Mossberg of Level Up Sports 10. He's saying good morning to everyone, all the subscribers. And of course, he threw out his boy Joe Burrow out there. Yeah, Joe Burrow could possibly be one too, man. I don't know if Cincinnati will put the defensive help that he needs around him since they got so much money tied up on the offensive side of the ball. But that's definitely a good person to throw out there for sure. I think it has to be Lamar Jackson as well because I think when you look at both organizations, you would think that the Buffalo Bills would be an organization that would be behind the Jets and the Giants, but here lately they've been ahead of both of those teams for probably since Josh Allen been there, and you would think that it would be the other way around. But I think Lamar Jackson's organization, the Baltimore Ravens, they understand that this window is here right now. We got to seize the moment. We got to get the players around this dynamic quarterback that we have so that we can get past Patrick Mahomes and these Kansas City Chiefs to make it to the Super Bowl. I would give a nod to Lamar Jackson simply because I think he's at a, a better organization. Not that the Buffalo Bills are shabby. I just think he's at a better organization who understands the need right now and the window can close really, really quick. I know that very well because it closed real quick on my Tennessee Titans. Mossberg is saying Josh Allen, that young Buffalo core is different. Yeah, I mean, that's a good pick too, man, between those two. I mean, I can definitely see them doing that as well. Which running back will you be or running backs will you be keeping your eye on this NFL season?
I mean, it's three for me. You know, I gotta go with my two Buckeyes. I want to see what they gonna do. Trey and Quinshawn, but the other one, it's all rookies for me for real. I want to see what's up with Ashton. Now it's all this talk. He ain't play big boy football and da da da. And can he do this and do that, man? I want to see if it's gonna be too much for him, if he gonna be a bust, or if he like that for real. Like now, everybody is talented that you gonna go up against. Everybody is like at the elite level. This is the top level of football. So let's see what he do. Oh, and oh, of course, I expect big things out of Bucky this year too. My Buccaneers. Let me shout out Bucky. Bucky gonna turn up even more this year. So they're my four guys.
Yeah, man. When you speak about the running backs in the NFL, I could go so many directions because there's a lot of interesting situations I got my eye on. I would like, I got my eye on Christian McCaffrey. He's a dynamic playmaker. Can he avoid the injury bug and get San Francisco back to where they need to be? I got my eye on that one. Ashton Genty, is he the real deal or not? I got my eye on him also for the Raiders, and I would like to see Jonathan Taylor, the Indianapolis Colts, stay healthy this season because I feel like he's ultra talented and he can really be that guy. He just got to stay healthy, and I mean, a lot of the rookies we want to see Pittsburgh. We want to see the Chargers. We want to see what those rookies do this season. If they can get the bulk of the carries, New England. I know your boy Henderson out there. I'm big on him this season. I think he explodes and really takes that job. So you can go so many areas, man. It's Denver. Denver got the rookie. I forget his name, but will he be able to hold off, the veteran and take the job there? Because I'm high on Denver also this season. So there's so many situations and interesting storylines we can speak on when it comes to the NFL running backs.
Yeah, you both hit on a lot of really, really good picks out there, man, at the running back position. And I guess for me, I might not be looking at individual guys so much as I am what are their teams going to have them do? Are they gonna use a lot of these guys, especially some of the rookies? Are they gonna use them on third down, or are they gonna be three down backs? Um, I think when you look at those two Ohio State backs, I think you got three down backs there. I don't think you should pigeonhole Travion Henderson to a third down back. I think he's a back that can be out on the field all three downs because he can pass, he can block in pass pro too. So I think that's going to be some players that I will look at their stats and see what they're doing and how their team is using them. I want to see if the Atlanta Falcons take the next step with Bijan Robinson. Are they going to let him be the guy who spends 75 to 85% of the time on the field at that running back position? Are they going to give him the necessary touches that he needs? Not necessarily carries, but touches in terms of catching the ball out the backfield, scheming him up on a linebacker or maybe even a safety sometimes. And I want to see if the Dallas Cowboys can get their running game together. That was an Achilles heel for them last year, not only because Dak Prescott went out, but though he was out, their running game was dormant. Can they get that up to speed and maybe make a run against those Washington Redskins and those Philadelphia Eagles?
Hey, you know, my early pick was the Cowboys is winning that division.
Yeah, I thought you was just doing that for your brother, but maybe you were serious. Who will have the better season, Sam Darnold or Geno Smith?
Hmm. Hey, go ahead, post. I got to think about that.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to go with Geno Smith on this. I think I like Geno's weapons a little better as far as the tight end position, wide out, and Ashton Genty could be a hit this year. Could be. Sam Darnold, I don't know if I quite trust him yet. And I know he put up big numbers. But one thing we got to realize is this: Kevin O'Connell, for the head coach of the Vikings, is an offensive genius. So it doesn't. He made Kirk Cousins look like an all-world quarterback. He made Sam Darnold look like an all-world quarterback. So I think for me is it was really that coaching and that system in Minnesota that made Darnold look like that. But he could prove me wrong, and he can go out in Seattle and ball because he got some weapons too now. But I gotta see it twice. It was so nice for Darnold. I gotta see it twice. So I'm gonna lean Geno Smith on this.
Mm. I don't know, post. I think Sam might have the better supporting cast, man. Like when I look at it as, in a totality, um, I don't really like neither one. Let me just be clear, okay? Uh, they both are middle of the pack quarterbacks. You know, I know Sam Darnold hit last year, but if people really watch later on in that season last year in Minnesota, man, he was the reason why they were struggling. So I'm a lean towards Gino just because I think Gino is a bit better. Um, Sam Darnold really not it though. I don't think he's gonna really have the type of year he had last year. I don't think he's gonna be terrible, but I don't think he's gonna be nowhere close to what he did last year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead,
no, I
Paul.
was just gonna say I just think the world of Brock Bowers, man. Brock Bowers is just different. And I think having that target at tight end for Geno Smith and how they want to run the ball, I definitely think Geno will be more efficient. It's man, Seattle wants to run the ball too, but you got your Buckeye at wide receiver on the outside, and he gonna put in work. How healthy could Cooper Cup stay? You know, and will he be in the slot? So it's some questions, but man, I gotta lean Geno. I gotta see Darnold do it twice for me to be a believer.
I feel that.
Yeah, when I looked at it, I was thinking to myself, who's playing a tougher schedule, who's in a tougher division, who might be able to sort of give that quarterback a little bit more issues than the other person's division. Who has the more weapons? I mean, you got a running back that we haven't seen in the NFL yet. Can he catch the ball out the backfield? I don't think we've seen much of that from Ashton Genty uh, at Boise State. I'm sure he can do it, but I haven't seen a lot of it. But you got Brock Bowers, who I think is, man, he's on pace to become the best tight end in the NFL. We in a couple of years, we probably gonna be saying just that. He's the best tight end in the NFL. I'm gonna go with Geno Smith because I think that he can probably do it. He's been in enough situations. Sam Darnold has been in a lot of bad spots. He was in a good spot last year, and FanDuel pointed out the fact that he struggled towards the end of the season, and he really did struggle towards the end of the season. I think I would give the nod to Geno because I'm not sure about Sam Darnold. Even though I was thinking my Titans would offer him so that we could get him in as our quarterback, but I'm glad they did. To lose a big target like who's it? Who's that? Jetta is major.
Justin Jefferson.
Jefferson. He got to put it together again. Yeah, you're right. Because Justin Jefferson is all world at that tight end. I mean, at the wide receiver position. We'll switch gears and talk a little bit of college football. There's a lot of talk about the CFP format. Should there be equal amounts of talk about improving the bowl game matchups?
Man, the bowl games was so trash last year, bro. Like, I don't know. This was a great question. They definitely need to tap in with that. It was terrible. Like, I remember watching UConn. No, not UConn. I say UConn. North Carolina and somebody. North Carolina had like 40, 50 players on the sideline. They didn't even have a roster for real. It was crazy. But I don't know, man. They definitely got to do something with them bowl games, bro. But once again, this is the world we live in. Them bowl games don't matter. Nobody care about them bowl games.
Yeah, I don't know what more they could do to improve the bowl game matchups. Maybe turn it into you know a second tier playoff. But then again, what players are going to opt in if it's a second tier playoff? But I don't know what else they could do. A lot of players are going to sit out. They don't care if they don't make the college football playoff. Some of them are thinking about their NFL careers. Some of their coaches just got fired and they're trying to transfer out, or they're not getting playing time. They gonna transfer out. So it's I don't know what more you can do to improve the bowl game matchups.
Yeah, I would like to see them probably move away from that format that they use now, where they say the fourth place SEC team plays the fourth place Big Ten team. I think once the season is over and the teams that don't make the college football playoffs, I think the best bowl should be able to pick the next two teams, and then the next best bowl after that should get to pick the next best two teams, and just keep on going in that format until you can get some really good matchups. And then they need to incentivize playing in those games. If you play in this game, you get X amount of dollars for playing in the game. Somehow that has to become a factor in trying to get some of these players to play in their bowl games, especially if coaches can't persuade them to do so, or if coaches are persuading guys to, you need to go ahead and get ready for the NFL. Don't worry about this bowl game. go ahead and get ready for the NFL. Something has to happen to where these guys still play in those games, because you get a lot of guys that go to those Senior Bowls, man. And I mean, I ain't gonna say it's less significant because you get to get in front of a bunch of NFL scouts, but at the same time, it's meaningless. You're only playing what, maybe a third of the plays, possibly, maybe even a fourth of the plays. So I would like to see them do something with these bowl games, because at one time those bowl games was really, really, really interesting. They were good. You look forward to watching them on New Year's Day. They need to do something, and I think they should be given equal amount of attention to those bowl matchups as they do this CFP format.
Them was some good points, and that's how they gotta solve it though. Exactly what you said. They gotta incentivize it to get these guys to play it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I wonder if somehow they can put that in their contract, since they are talking so much about these contracts, signing bonuses, and all this other stuff. Could that be a part of their package? That if we make it to a bowl game, you are contracted to play, otherwise you got to get that money back,
Right.
or whatever percentage of it that will be paid to you from playing in the bowl game, you got to get that back. If I made sense on that. Should there be compensation paid to group of six schools when a Power Four school gets one of their players in the transfer portal?
I know. I remember Just Lord had brought that up in JoJo's interview, and I thought that was a great point. It makes sense. That's kind of a way to still put in money to these non-power four schools and try to at least keep them kind of relevant and competitive. Um, we know they can't offer the same type of money the power four can, but I mean it helps. Anything helps at that point. You feel me? So I love that idea. They probably should look into that for real. I don't know. I don't really know what the right number would be, but I mean, that's probably some things you gotta come up with the analytics and all that. So they should look into that for sure, though.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. If they gonna post their players, they need to compensate them, and I think it'll be good for the smaller schools. So uh, that interview, yeah, you hit the nail on the head. The interview with the young man saying that with Mossberg, I definitely think if you take one of these players, the least you can do is get their pockets right. You dig?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I definitely believe that he was on to something really, really powerful right there. That if you get one of these guys from one of those group of six schools, you should give them some kind of compensation. I mean, it's only fair because they put in the work. They got this guy ready for you to even see him. So now that you've seen him, you got him, you should at least get him some kind of compensation for what amount that looks like. I mean, we don't know, but I mean, if this guy is going to come to your school and you're going to pay him, let's say, $350,000, maybe not 10% of that 350,000, but 10% of that amount should be given back to the school, maybe 5%. I don't know what that number should be, but it should be something. And it should be something well worth that university's time. I mean, it shouldn't be $100, that's for sure. Out of the 20.8 million paid to schools, what should the cap be for the main star or two at that school? Should there be a cap? Should they just be able to get any amount of that 20.5 that school got, or should there be a cap on it?
Well, I have already thought about this, and it's crazy that this question came up. I don't think no college athlete should make more than $2 million a year, and that's just me. I mean, I'm not trying to knock they hustle. I'm just talking about cap wise. Endorsements, I feel like it should be unlimited. But when you talking about programs paying these kids, you already on a full scholarship. How much is that scholarship worth? And $2 million, I feel like that's enough money for an 18, 19, 20-year-old to be able to manage. Now, when you start talking about the fives and the sevens and the $8 million, I think that's when stuff start getting sticky, bro.
Oh man, 20.8. How much money did, let's just say, Ohio State gross last year? Was it something to the tune of 200 million?
We was in the red, bro. We
It was,
we lost money last year.
they lost money.
Oh, that's crazy.
Well, you could talk
But
about Texas because Texas made about $35 million.
Hoop did he lie? We didn't account for the money after the national championship. We won
no,
a
no, no,
national
no.
championship.
I think y'all are y'all basing that number off the football program or sports
The,
revenue?
all sports revenue.
Yeah.
All sports we was in the red last year.
Okay. So I don't think I don't think we should cap players. You made good points. They are young, but I don't think if you if you putting behinds in seats and you making your university millions, I don't think you should cap it. If these start you talking about your one or two best players on your teams. Now, I'm not saying they should be making 30, 40, 50 million, but if they putting behinds in seats, you a star and everybody coming to see you play on Saturdays or in basketball, whatever the sport may be, I don't think you should have like a $2 million cap. Maybe cap it at five, 6 or 7. But these dudes are stars, man. I know they student athletes and all that. They getting scholarships. But if these universities done made millions off their backs for years and years and years and years and years. So I don't think it should be capped that low. Maybe it should be a cap, but 2 million, I'm looking more if you like that 5 to 7, because I mean everybody come to see you. You putting money in the university's pocket as well. So that's my take on it.
And I like your point, Post. And let me be real clear about something real quick too. If ownership comes in, it should be no cap. Now, if we eventually move to guys owning like parts of these programs or businesses owning parts of these, don't cap nothing. But under the current structure, that's all I'm saying. I want to see it. I want to see a cap too, especially when you talking about we got $20 million rosters or caps, and you got 120 or 115 man roster. I want every person to be able to eat equally, and I think when you start moving in the 5 to 7 range, the 120th dude ain't gonna eat like the 50th dude on the roster. And I just want everybody to eat equally because they're all in the same predicament, man. We trying to get these kids through school, first of all. You know what I mean? Everybody not going to the NFL.
Yeah, I think when you're looking at that 20.8, you got to put some sort of cap on it for your star player, and I like that range between 2 million and 5 million. 5 million might be maybe a little bit too much, um, but I think that they need to look at the models that you see in professional sports with rookie contracts and things like that,
Yeah.
league minimums for those NFL players, uh, basketball players, and stuff like that. Look at those formats and see what kind of number you can come up with. Because when you look at, let's take Arch Manning for instance. If we decide, okay, we capping you at let's say 3 million, but we already know he already making 6 to 8 million through other endorsements that he has. So he gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want your locker room to be tripping because you got this guy making the bulk of the money, and now you gotta penny pinch me, and I'm an up and coming star on this team. So I think that they should have a cap, but I think they should look at the models that they use in professional sports to sort of help find a formula for it. Because I don't want guys making so much money that it starts to affect the college. I want guys to get enough money to where they're willing to stay in college and get their degree. But I don't want it to be a situation where guys are making so much money that now they lose their love or lackluster for the game. I don't want that kind of stuff to happen. Or guys are out there doing like what we've seen with Nico, you know, got agents positioning themselves to try to get more money. If the cap is there, then you know you're only getting so much. So don't be trying to use your leverage to try to hold somebody's feet to the fire to give you more money.
Hey, read that comment now.
It says, don't put no cap on them players, even though on scholarships. If anything, make them pay for their own medical insurance. What y'all think about that?
So when you start talking about paying for medical, and now these are employees, now this money needs to start getting taxed, and now we got to start doing taxes, you know. So I mean, it's whatever game they decide they want to play, I'm cool with it. I'm totally fine with it. But when you start talking about medical, paying having medical benefits for these players, now we got to start taxing this money. That's my only thing, because I pay my taxes, you know what I mean, and I want the next motherfucker to pay their taxes. That's all I'm saying. You feel me?
Yeah, I wouldn't even have them pay their own medical insurance. Like I'm fine with what he said, but I wouldn't even allow them to pay that themselves. They athletes. We know what they put their body through. We gonna take care of your body, and I would rather have you dealing with my medical staff or situation than your own, because I want to know what's going on with you. So I wouldn't have them pay for it.
I mean, I remember there was a time when Greg Anthony, who played basketball for UNLV, who had his T-shirt business, had to pay his own schooling. I wouldn't be surprised, because in some instances, some NIL deals for some guys, they're not on scholarships, so they like kickers and punters and stuff. They have to pay for their own schooling through the NIL, of course. They're paying it that way. I would like to see something like that. Medical insurance, even though it's a good concept and it's a good thought, medical insurance is expensive as all get out for just us common folks. I could imagine what it would be like for them. Because if you work for a company, that company is probably paying upwards of $1,000 a month insurance for you, and you only paying that little premium of $54, $64, whatever it might be. But the company you work for is paying. They're paying.
Hey, no, my shit say like $4, and we got great insurance. My shit say like $4 come out my check.
Yeah, that's probably for your dental, your vision, but the school system is paying.
I'm telling you, I look at it, bro. It's like everything is under $4 for the dental, the vision, and all that. It's like, I'm telling you, bro. Look at you. No, it's like 20. You right. The medical part,
that's what like you pay, but I'm talking about what the school system pays for you to have it.
I know you were saying though that you only paying this little minimum amount every month, and they paying $1,000. I'm trying to tell you, I pay like $20.
Oh, you do?
It's lovely. It's beautiful. You feel me? I got a $25 copay. I love it. It's like we got great benefits, man.
we do. At one time, it was sweeter than that when I first came in the district. But that was
man. We ain't got to go
million
before
years
Christ.
ago.
We do not have to go before Christ on the show, man.
Yeah, but I do agree that they should have to. There should be something that they should have to pay because I mean, but then of course you go into them being employees there, so that's another ball of wax that you got to deal with.
Yeah, that's a
But I
whole
do
new.
like that thought that you gave us, KT, on they should be paying something. If it's medical, then I'm telling you right now, that's a whopping cost. Medical everywhere in the world should be free.
Facts. No
I agree
facts.
with that. Absolutely.
Do you got anything else y'all want to cover? We coming right up on almost an hour. We've been going for 51 minutes. Y'all got anything else y'all want to discuss or talk about before we wrap up the show?
Let's talk about that LeBron James comment, man. Let's go
All right,
ahead and
tell everybody what the comment is, and then we can hit it a little bit.
hold up, man. I just pull it up, man. We could watch it real quick. You
All
know,
right, do that. While he's doing that, I'm on the side of LeBron James being the greatest basketball player to ever play the game of basketball. I know I might be in a minority because we got a lot of MJ people out there. We got some Kareems, we got some Kobe's. But I think when you talk about the GOAT, you really only mention maybe 4, 5, 6 guys maybe in that GOAT debate. But you hear LeBron James name being thrown out there, which means he got to be one hell of a basketball player to even have his name mentioned.
Be all of everything. Like, okay, you weren't a great player. If you I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport and why it's the all be all of everything. Like, okay, you weren't a great player if you never won a championship. It's like, or if you won one, then you
Not
can't be
enough.
in the same conversation with this person. It's
But
like,
that's a great point because what you're saying is like, no matter what you have, you need more. No matter what.
right.
No matter what. Like it never ends.
Yeah,
Right?
it's I don't know, man. It's just like you sit here and tell me, you know, Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley and Steve Nash, our wasn't unbelievable. Like, oh, they can't be talked about or discussed with these guys because this guy won one ring or won 2 rings or one like it's just weird to me. It's like saying Peyton Manning can't be in the same room with Brady or Mahomes because he only has 1 ring. They don't never discuss that in their sport. I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport.
100% pure garbage. That dude was capping his ass off. I don't care what nobody say. Nobody ever said that those players weren't great because they didn't win rings. It's of course there's levels to the NBA, and I did a video on this. Go check that out if you haven't. But there's levels to this. Is championships everything? No. Is championships that big piece of pie? Yes, sir. I just think he's signaling out to his fan base that I'm not going to catch these guys in championships. My championship winning days are probably over, and I'm not going to catch these guys. So let's control the narrative. Let's win the argument this way. So is LeBron James a great player? Man, absolutely phenomenal. Is he the GOAT? Man, I can't say that. No, sir. I just seen with my eyes better basketball players, in my opinion. That doesn't mean he's not great. If he wanted to be mentioned with Tracy McGrady and all those Steve Nash, Barkley, then why you leave Cleveland, LeBron? You know what I mean? Why you go chase NBA championships? And now it's all, rings are everything. Nobody ever said rings was everything. Like, come on, man. Rob, I know that's your man, but come on.
man. Listen, Post, you said it so greatly and so gracefully. I really can't really add too much, but I gotta get my words out so they can hear me say my thing too. You know what I mean? But let's just be clear about what this is. We got Dirk Nowitzki, 1 championship. We got Giannis, been in Milwaukee all his career, 1 championship. LeBron, if it didn't mean that much, why have you switched teams 3 times? You just stay with your squad. If it don't mean that much, you just stay there until you get one. If you don't get one, you just fall on your sword. We seen Damian Lillard go through it most of the way. And he didn't leave in free agency. He got traded. He kind of forced his way out. So it's kind of a different thing. But you see guys fall on their sword all the time. I mean, even if they can't win one, they die trying, and for him to say that, bro, it's just like I've seen him so many times just say at the end of a season when he done got took out of the playoffs that, I mean, if we don't win a championship, then the season is a failure. So for him to say this now, it's clear he is trying to change the GOAT debate to something that he can win in, which is stats. And that's a fact. The only argument he has is stat basis. And that's the only thing that any of his fans ever say is stats. They don't bring you no other facts. He just played the longest and he's been doing it for forever and he got the best stats. And that is great. And he is a great player. But he's not even in my top 10, bro. But that don't mean that you can't be great. So, I mean, I'm going to just leave it there, man. I'm going to leave it there.
Man, I hear both of y'all, and y'all got good arguments and good points about what you're saying. I think that the young man is saying that, listen, championships is not everything. You mentioned his stats. Not winning those championships that he did not win is a part of his stats. So he's going to have stats that go well for him. He's going to have stats that go bad for him. I mean, I think he's coming up on the record for most turnovers. That's a negative stat. You know what I'm saying? So I think that he is saying that, listen, and it seems like for him, for sure, it's always something to knock his greatness. It's always something. Oh, he ain't do this. Oh, he got too many turnovers. Oh, he didn't beat Dirk when he was supposed to beat Dirk. He's supposed to be the best player in the world. He ain't do this. He ain't do that. It sounded like to me he was just pointing out, listen, no matter what it is, you always got an argument for why somebody should not be considered a great player, when in reality, they're all great players, man. They're all great players. He's going to be my GOAT based on whatever I think the criteria is for me for him to be the GOAT. But I ain't going to argue with nobody that thinks MJ is the GOAT, because MJ was a bad boy, man. So if he's your GOAT, great. If Kobe is your GOAT, great. Because Kobe was a bad boy. So whoever anybody's GOAT is, I'm cool with that. But for me, LeBron James is my GOAT.
Can I ask you?
Hey,
you got to be somebody else's GOAT because I said he might.
Hold on, Post. See, this is what I don't like. Now you taking the barbershop out of my sport. You feel me? We gonna argue. We gonna argue about who the GOAT is. We gonna argue about why they not the GOAT. Because this is sports, this is entertainment, and this is the barbershop talk. This is why we love it. You feel me? Hell no. You can say LeBron is your GOAT, and I'm gonna argue with you till the day we die. You feel me? Till the day we die. I don't care about your facts that you bring up. And another thing, you talking about the stats, and this is what I hate about LeBron keepers. They don't never say the bad stats. They always say he got 50,000 points. He got this assist. He's top 5 in this. They don't never say he lost 6 times in the finals. They don't never say he's a self-proclaimed GOAT. They don't never say all these things. You know what I mean? So when you talking about, he's talking about, oh, no, all these dudes is great players. He is the self-proclaimed GOAT. The self-proclaimed GOAT. He the only person I ever heard say that. I'm done.
Can I ask you a question, Rob?
Yeah, go ahead. For sure.
If LeBron has, let's say he wins 3 more, let's say he has 7 championships, do you think he makes this argument?
The one that he's making right now?
If he has 7 rings on his fingers, is he saying those words?
I think LeBron James is still saying the same thing because he's lifting up those guys who are great players who did not win as many championships, who didn't win none, and some who only won one. That's what I got out of it. He was lifting up the great players that have played this game who you cannot say that they're not great because they didn't win championships. We all know that those players are all great players, man. And if LeBron, say for instance, LeBron James started his career at the Lakers or the Sixers or at Boston, don't you think he would have stayed there his whole entire career?
He would have
No.
had 10 rings with Kobe. Yeah, he probably would have stayed.
If he went to a market like that, he would have probably stayed his whole entire career. Because why would he want to leave?
Because
Miami?
he would have wanted to bring that ring.
He happened to go to
Cleveland.
Cleveland, where you know it is super difficult to win a championship, which he did win a championship there. But we all know that if he landed in a good market, he probably never would have left that market, man. He probably would have stayed there.
So why leave Miami?
Facts.
You know why he left Miami? Pat Riley
Because-
was an asshole.
Pat Riley took his cookies off the plane. That's
Riley was
why.
an asshole.
That's why he left Miami. Though.
Hey, listen,
I ain't
listen,
gonna lie, you ain't
but
taking my
listen,
cookies
listen.
either, bro.
Yeah, but listen, you got other players that's saying the same thing about Pat Riley.
Yeah,
it's time for
but
Pat Riley
if
to
he-
go.
Man, listen, I'm not arguing that LeBron isn't great, because he is.
Yeah.
You know, my thing is, man, you trying to create a narrative, control the narrative, man, because the thing that I don't like about LeBron, especially his fan base, is they always got an excuse. You didn't get it done. You didn't get it done. You know,
I mean, well, we can't make no excuse about that because the facts are there. He didn't get it done. The facts are there.
no. You'd be surprised, bro. You'd be surprised.
I'm sure there are some.
Oh my goodness. It's excuse after excuse. My head hurt, man, from so
Hey.
many excuses. Go ahead.
Let me ask this question too. Outside of the points, the assists, what is LeBron's greatest stats in your opinion? Like something you can be like, he did this, and this is GOAT level right here.
I mean, for me, LeBron became my GOAT maybe 2 or 3 years ago when he was at the age that he was, still giving people buckets. And when I looked at him in comparison to other guys at that time in their career, were they doing what he was doing and they weren't doing it at that level, you can see them have lost more than a step. I was like, this guy got to be the greatest basketball player ever. Now, you know, everybody want to throw that other stuff in the game, the PEDs, the
We're gonna
juice.
leave that alone. We're gonna leave that alone.
Yeah, we're going to leave that alone. But, I mean, that's what made him the GOAT for me. And then when you say 50,000 points, bro, that's incredible, man. That's incredible. You got to give him his props for scoring 50,000 points without a bag.
Without a bag. That is true. He got all the points without a goddamn bag. That is so true. Hey, but look, let me tap onto that longevity thing, man. And that's where we're gonna always disagree. I'm more of, what were you when you were at your peak, and what did you do with it? You know, the greatest time I ever seen LeBron as a basketball player was that second year in Miami. I think he was a different type of animal. This is, I mean, when you line that peak up right there of LeBron, that's probably like the 4th best basketball player I've ever seen with my eyes. Just that 1 year, that single year alone. But
Zay, you mean I don't mean to cut you off, but you mean the second time in Cleveland?
No. That second year in Miami.
Oh, the second year. Okay.
Yeah, that second year in Miami. And let me tell you why. Post game. Bro is 6'9", 260. All I seen him do is attack the basket that whole year. You know what I mean? That's it. He didn't settle for jump shots or nothing. I was like, this is the LeBron that we should see every year. When I seen that, I was like, bro, if he do that for the rest of his career, he would have been the GOAT. But he settled. He bailed people out. So, I mean, he don't have that killer, that dog in it. Like for instance, if MJ or Kobe knew you couldn't stop something, they would just keep on doing it. LeBron wasn't that guy. If he ever had that mindset to do it, he would have been probably the GOAT. For real. Like, but that year, that second year in Miami, that's gotta be. I only put 3 other dudes like peak wise that I seen over him, and I done studied so much MJ, so y'all can act like I was there. You feel me? I witnessed it, but I wasn't there. I'm too young. You know what I'm saying? But Kobe and then AI had a year that I ain't never seen. You know what I'm saying? He had a year where it was like, bro, nobody could stop this dude. I mean, if he was 6'4", he probably would be the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? So I seen a year. It was 3 seasons that I ever seen that was better than that second year that LeBron had in Miami. But with all that being said, dude is great, and I'm gonna give him his flowers. He's a top 10 player in my opinion, maybe 11. I'm tweaking on 10 and 11, but at the end of the day, man, why do LeBron fans act like that's a knock? Like it's so whiny. It's like just because somebody don't say he's better than MJ or Kobe or Kareem or whoever the hell you want to say, everybody got to act like we're saying he's not a great player. We're not saying he's not a great player. We appreciate LeBron. We do. But he's not my speed. I like my killer to be a little different type of a killer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to sum it all up, I just think that the conversation was disingenuous, and LeBron has said a lot of disingenuous things throughout his career. Kevin Thomas asked which era was the best. I don't know. I will have to dig deep into that, but I do know it's real easy to score in this current era. I do know that, Rob. It's real easy to score, my man. So if you think about it, what if we could drop the other GOATs into this era? What would they be doing?
Yeah, KT, the best era of basketball for me was when we could do a decade, 2000 to 2010. That was the best era of basketball.
And to real quick, because I know we gotta go, but that era from 2000 2010, if you go back and look at the teams Kobe Bryant was putting out the playoffs.
Hey, they don't know. Hold on, Post. They don't know. I've been trying to tell them. I've been trying to tell them
for a
long time.
Like LeBron James now.
Hey, I've been
Serious,
trying to tell
man.
him this for this is why he's my GOAT, though. You feel me, Post? I back it up with them type of facts. You know what I'm saying? I just do.
I'm gonna say 80 to 90. Back when you had Boston, Philadelphia, you had the Lakers. All of those 3 teams was always vying for the championship, man. And I thought that era was probably the best era for me. I ain't knocking the other eras.
It was 4 good teams then, man. Stop it.
It was, and some of those teams was still good, but they weren't quite what you seen with the Philadelphia 76ers, the Lakers, and the Boston Celtics. Because I think during that 10-year period, those 3 teams probably won all the championships in that 10-year period.
Well, that's all
we got. Y'all. Well, I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. We appreciate everybody tuning in and checking us out. We will be back on Tuesday night at 7:45, where my man Post Game and I will be doing his Notre Dame preview. Ooh. So please be in the chat on that night.
When is it?
Tuesday at 7:45. We're gonna do Notre Dame preview. Me and post game gonna do it. So if y'all can be in the chat, that'll be great.
Oh yeah, I'm bombing you with questions, Post.
Help us through
You
that.
already know.
And it's probably gonna be a 3-hour show. No, not that long. Not that long. at least an hour for sure. We're gonna go through all of the player positions, the schedule, the whole 9 yards, so we can get an in-depth preview on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish going into the 2025 football season. So
Definitely
please tune in and check us out.
Definitely.
All right, y'all. So I'm out. We out.
Peace.
Peace.